Alright, I think we should be good. Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. So, this is kind of an exciting day. We got the new Halo Infinite Cyber Showdown event started today for the next 2 weeks. That's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. And I'm going to be showing off some gameplay of that in the background here in just a second. Let me get that set up, and I'll take care of that. But we also had some other freaking crazy, amazing news. And okay, there we go. Let me hold up. Let me scale this down for size. This is a 4K. Okay, there we go. Nice. And then I'll put that right there. Okay, perfect. Nice. Hopefully that's not too loud. The gameplay in the background isn't the point of the video, but yeah, so here we go. Here is what we're going to be talking about. So the big news was that this morning Microsoft purchased Activision Blizzard, which is just insane. I already posted a video on the channel, right? I recorded that earlier this morning, but I posted it a couple hours ago on the channel. Freaking just insane, dude. Absolutely freaking insane. So I kind of went over the basics in that video. This one, I'm doing this one live because, you know, I kind of want to get some discussion in here. But I wanted to more so be able to express my thoughts about all of this and pretty much answer the question, which is the title of this: what is going to happen to Call of Duty? What does all of this mean? And we're going to be going into a lot more details and stuff and everything. So first off, let me actually switch over to here. And yeah, here we go. So they put it out on a new blog post. They said, welcoming the incredible teams and legendary franchises of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft Gaming. Creators of Call of Duty, Warcraft, Candy Crush, Tony Hawk, Diablo, Overwatch, Spyro, Hearthstone, Guitar Hero, Crash Bandicoot, StarCraft, and more join Team Xbox. Yeah, I'm not going to read all that. You guys can read all that right now, but tons and tons of stuff. Important things are actually down here. They say that until this transaction closes, Activision Blizzard, so right here, until this transaction closes, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft Gaming will continue to operate independently. Once the deal is complete, the Activision Blizzard business will report to me as CEO Microsoft Gaming. So this is actually an article by Phil Spencer, CEO of Microsoft Gaming, which today they actually changed that. So his new title at Xbox is now CEO of Microsoft Gaming, which is interesting. So that's kind of cool. You know, he got like a new title on there, which, you know, right here, Phil Spencer, him, CEO of Microsoft Gaming. This is the gaming leadership team, which, yeah, kind of cool. You know, introduces everybody to it. We got my boy Matt Booty down here. But, yeah, let's go back. Okay, so that's interesting. Basically, like they say, until the transaction closes. So this will take a little while to happen. It doesn't mean that literally, like, starting today, Microsoft is calling the shots at Activision and, you know, everything is supposed to change today because they announced it. Like, no, this is going to take some time. It also has to, like, go through certain processes, too. The government is likely to actually get involved in this and check and see whether or not this is actually allowed, like this purchase is allowed, because, you know, there are laws in this country about becoming, like, having a company become too big and buying out all these other companies, that, like, you know, antitrust laws and all sorts of stuff, where basically to prevent monopolies and stuff. So that's the goal here, right? And it seems likely. I mean, obviously, if Microsoft has gone through this route and have already talked to Activision and have also obviously announced this, there's a pretty good chance that, like, this will go through. You know, they wouldn't have announced this. They wouldn't have already talked to it. They wouldn't even, like, come into an agreement of, like, a certain amount of money if it wasn't likely to actually, like, go through and they'd be allowed to do this. So it's, like, well, pretty much done deal at this point. So, interesting. They say, upon close, we will offer as many Activision Blizzard games as we can within Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass. So, upon close. So, like I said, we don't have a time frame on when that will happen, but upon close, that is when they're going to be added to Game Pass and Game Pass PC. He says we will offer as many as we can. So, no promises, you know, obviously we're not going to get all of them, But to me, I personally, I kind of take that as, so they're going to say, you know, we offer as many as we can, both new titles and games from Activision Blizzard's incredible catalog. So I think that mostly applies to games, say like Guitar Hero and some of those other franchises, maybe even like Tony Hawk and stuff. And I don't know, I think there was a Crash Bandicoot, wasn't it exclusive to PlayStation? One of them was, or something like that. I think the collection was for a little while before it came to Xbox, something like that. Anyways, I don't know. You know, I'm sure stuff like that, like specifically the Guitar Hero ones, licensing reasons they cannot like bring it to Game Pass for a lot of the same reasons why they can't bring it to backwards compatibility. It's probably just licensing reasons. But, you know, they say that they're going to be adding as many as they can to the Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass. So let me actually do something real quick. Let me... game capture. Oh, wait. That's not it. Where the heck is the video capture device? Oh. Okay. There we go. All right. Hang on. Boom. You guys are now on my Xbox. Let's take a look at my Xbox. Currently, Xbox Game Pass. These are all the games that are on Game Pass as of right now. You have a ton of games on here. Now, granted, a lot of these are not because Microsoft owns it, you know, like Batman Arkham Knight. You know, Microsoft does not own them, so it's not like always going to be on here. They frequently have like GTA on here. Let's see, is GTA on here still? You got San Andreas, but GTA 5 is not on here. Did they put Red Dead back on here? It's been kind of weird. They've been adding Red Dead, taking Red Dead off, adding GTA 5, taking GTA 5 off, and then putting Red Dead back on. So, yeah, it doesn't look like we have Red Dead on here. But, anyways, a lot of this stuff on here is third-party games. You know, they have nothing to do with Microsoft other than, you know, they came to an agreement to put their games on Game Pass. But then we have other games on here like Elder Scrolls Online, Skyrim, even like Morrowind, Evil Within 2. Where's Doom? Doom's on here as well. Yeah, all the Doom games. These ones, plus of course Halo, that's all because those are first-party Xbox games currently. That's why. Those are all first-party now, so that's why they are available on here. Halo Infinite is a perfect example of what is going to be happening now with the Activision games. Is Halo Infinite launched day one on Xbox Game Pass. So day one, you could just hop into Game Pass and play it. You do not need to purchase Halo Infinite. You don't need to drop $60 and play it, even though multiplayer is free. But still, for the campaign, you don't have to drop $60 to play the campaign. You literally just pick up a Game Pass subscription and play it. So you can play it for as long as you have Game Pass. And speaking of which, you can also, let me show you this. Get a free 1-month code of Game Pass. You literally can buy gummy worms. I literally have another bag over here. This one's actually a different one. But you can literally buy these things, take a picture of your receipt, and you get a free month of Game Pass Ultimate. So literally, you could go to a grocery store or a gas station, spend $3, not even $3 in some places, $3, and get a pack of gummy worms, and then go and redeem the code, and bam, you have a month of Game Pass, and you can beat all of Halo Infinite's campaign, get literally every achievement in the game in a month for $3. Plus, they have tons of stuff all the time running it on sale for $1. They also announced that there is 25 million members on Game Pass now, which is incredible. But yeah, basically Halo Infinite, that's the poster child for this. That's what's going to be happening for new Activision Blizzard games. So the next Call of Duty, potentially if they close before this year's game, which is going to be Modern Warfare 2, if they close before then, that means Modern Warfare 2 will be day one Game Pass. That means you do not have to buy that game. You don't have to buy the new Call of Duty. You not pre-order the new Call of Duty game. You don't have to pre-order it. You can literally just have a Game Pass subscription and play the new Call of Duty game the day it comes out for free, just because you have Game Pass. And then also, of course, like Game Pass for PC. Halo Infinite was part of that as well. It came to Game Pass on PC. So it's going to be kind of interesting. Now, this is another kind of topic I don't really want to jump into quite a bit right now. And I'll discuss this in a little bit later. But how is that going to work? Now they bought out Blizzard too. So Blizzard has Battle.net on PC. That's where all the Call of Duty games are on PC right now. They're not on Steam. They're not on the Microsoft Store. They're on Battle.net. So what does that mean? Are they going to have to continue with Battle.net? I'm assuming they are. I don't think, it's pretty obvious they're not going to just get rid of Battle.net. But are they going to take those same games, like the Call of Duty games, are they going to put those on Steam and put those also on the Microsoft Store? I mean, they have to put it on the Microsoft Store, right? Like, that's kind of like a no-brainer. But it's interesting. Halo Infinite, they launched Halo Infinite on the Microsoft Store, obviously, because it's the first-party game, but then they also launched it on Steam, which is incredible. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this stuff, like the new Activision games, they also published that not only on Battle.net, but they also published it on Steam again, too. I think that'd be really incredible. But anyways, back to it. So that is what is going to be happening, supposedly, with this, is when it closes. Like they say, until this transaction closes, they're going to be offering as many games as they can on both Game Pass and Game Pass for PC. Both new titles and games from Activision Blizzard's incredible catalog. So, sorry guys, let me go back to this. This is kind of what I actually wanted to show. So this is the current lineup of Game Pass. And now we're going to have 1 million Activision games. So let's go to my hard drive, right? These are all the games I have installed on my system. Let me put my headset up. These are all the games I have installed on my system. I have like every Call of Duty game on here. We start out with Black Ops 3, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, COD 4, Advanced Warfare 360, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 4, the Cold War Beta, Cold War, Black Ops 2, Ghosts, Ghost Xbox One Edition, Infinite Warfare. We have Modern Warfare 2019 / Warzone. We have Modern Warfare 2 for the 360, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, MW3, COD 4 Remastered, Vanguard Demo, Oh, yeah, Vanguard Demo, Vanguard Game, and this is like the base Xbox One version. And then World War II. Like all the Call of Duty games on here. Although, I don't have World at War installed? Interesting, okay. Yeah, I guess we're missing World at War. That is the only Call of Duty game I do not have installed. Huh. But yeah, so basically what this means is as soon as it goes through, all these games are going to be added to Game Pass, right? Black Ops 3 will be on Game Pass. All these backwards compatible games will be on Game Pass. Black Ops 4 will be on Game Pass. Cold War will be on Game Pass. Vanguard will be on Game Pass. Modern Warfare will be on Game Pass. Modern Warfare 2 will be on Game Pass. All of these games, plus, of course, any other Activision game, it will be on Game Pass as well. Like, any Activision game, boom, they're going to be adding it on there. But yeah, so that is what's going to be happening there. Like they say also, we have also announced today that Game Pass has 25 million subscribers. That's incredible. Something to note about Game Pass, though, is Game Pass is going to be kind of taking a Netflix approach, just like every other, subscription service. Spotify is doing this, Netflix is doing this, even Amazon Prime. All these places do this, where they get, they start out very cheap, right? They start out very cheap on their service, and they get millions and millions of customers, and then over time they gradually raise their prices, and that's how they become profitable. And I was watching Digital Foundry's video about this, and they made an interesting point, is they compared Game Pass to the likes of Netflix, where you have like big A-list movies on Netflix, but those, all the viewers and stuff you bring in for those subsidize all the smaller kind of indie stuff, things that, wouldn't get a huge budget, on its own, but it can be kind of subsidized by these big ones too. So I think that Game Pass is also kind of like that. You can get heavy hitters on there like Halo Infinite that'll bring in lots of people, which in turn will also kind of subsidize some of the smaller indie games and smaller games that could be added to Game Pass. So there's kind of a niche to that. That's kind of really cool. Yeah, back to this though. Let's see. What do they say here? They say the fantastic franchises across Blizzard will also accelerate our plans for cloud gaming. So not only will you be able to play like the likes of like Halo Infinite on xCloud, you could also play freaking Modern Warfare 2, Warzone. Holy crap! Can you guys imagine playing Warzone on xCloud? I actually tried this a couple times. I have done this before. I did this on our race live stream for Vanguard. I wasn't using xCloud, I was just using the remote play feature, so xCloud is actually better than that. But I was literally playing here at home. I was playing 70 miles away at work. I was playing at work off my phone, playing off this Xbox right here. So, like I said, that's a little bit different than xCloud. I'm going to be splitting hairs here, but anyways, yeah. So, It'd be kind of cool, right? There's already kind of plans to bring Warzone to mobile and stuff like that, but we haven't really heard anything like that. But what if we could bring the full-fledged like console Warzone experience to mobile? How crazy would that be? Before I forget, I need to circle back around to the actual question here. What does this have to do with Call of Duty? But yeah, like they say, they're going to help, accelerate plans, basically get more games for cloud gaming stuff, so get more people into it and stuff. Also, here is something that's very important I definitely want to touch on. They say, as a company, Microsoft is committed to our journey for inclusion in every aspect of gaming among both employees and players. We deeply value individual studio cultures. We also believe that creative success and autonomy go hand in hand with treating every person with dignity and respect. We hold all teams and all leaders to this commitment. We're looking forward to extending our culture of proactive inclusion to the great teams across Activision Blizzard. Around the world, there is no more exciting venue for fun and connection than video games, and there's never been a better time to play than right now. As we extend the joy and community of gaming to everyone, we look forward to welcoming all of our friends at Activision Blizzard to Microsoft Gaming. Wow. So, that is interesting. So let me actually bring this up. I found this. Phil Spencer actually said a couple things about Blizzard and about Activision and stuff. Let me see if where was it? Dang, dude. Somebody had an interview with Phil Spencer about what is actually going to be happening. What their relationship, what Xbox's relationship is currently with Activision. And he actually had a very good response to it. Basically, he was like, what? Our reputation, they're having problems over there, and we're like evaluating our relationship, but at the same time, like, we can't really say a whole lot because our reputation, we've had experiences in our own company in the past, so we can't like throw shade, basically, So he who lives in a glass house kind of thing. But yeah, really kind of cool, and I like that. It was very respectful that Phil Spencer said that. I also know that Lego has. It's kind of interesting. I saw this article a little while ago, like last week or something. Lego has kind of like currently suspended their partnership with Activision over the Overwatch Lego sets because of all the stuff going on at Activision right now. So, kind of a quick rundown. I know this isn't, you should go into more detail about this, but a very quick rundown. Activision is having serious internal issues because of harassment and a number of other issues, including pay, people being fired, and tons of stuff, people being overworked, lots of different issues within Activision and all their different studios and stuff, and a lot of issues. There's been so many lawsuits that have actually come out, and yeah, Activision has been in a really bad place, especially this year. I mean, not only from just like their products, from games and game sales, Vanguard isn't doing very well. Warzone, Caldera kind of crapped the bed, so that's kind of so. But not only that, but then they have all these lawsuits coming out from people, claiming higher ups at Activision acted inappropriately towards these people, or that they didn't pay them, what they deserve, a specific wage in comparison to, say, a male colleague. And there's a lot of issues, and specifically lawsuits and stuff. And people have even named Activision's CEO, is his name Bobby Kotick. They've actually named himself on that too, saying that he's acted inappropriate towards some female employees as well. And yeah, it's just a giant mess. There's calls for him to resign. There's calls for him to be fired. The like board of directors at Activision or whatever, they came out and they said like, no, we're not gonna fire him. He's doing good things for the company. It's like, I guess, yes. I mean, at the end of the day, they are a business. They're cranking out billions of dollars in microtransaction sales from Call of Duty alone. But at the same time, it's like, dude, stuff needs to change, right? So it's interesting that when Microsoft buys them out, I saw some people mention, they're like, how come they never, they didn't specifically say anything about this? Like, it's clear that Robert, whatever his name is, he is not a good person. He has done things that, honestly, he should pay the price for. He's done some kind of unspeakable things, and he really should take responsibility for that, either being let go of his current position or whatnot, maybe even facing legal trouble. But that is apparently, that's not actually going to be happening here. Let me actually cut back to the gameplay while I talk about this. That's not what's going to be happening, right? So he kind of gets off scot-free in this sense, which I know for some people it kind of feels a little bit like a slap in the face that he kind of gets this like, all right, see ya. His company kind of gets bought out. He of course is going to get a big old payday, kind of an giant exit bonus. Also, he is staying on with Activision as CEO until at least 2023, so until next year, which is good/bad, I guess. Of course, you definitely need kind of a grace period there where you can merge and finally bring them together before Bobby is finally like out the door, and then they all, of course, will report to Phil Spencer instead. So I think, in time, it'll be a lot better because I think Phil, he is a great guy. He's a CEO, he's running the company, he's there to make money for the business, but you can also tell he is a gamer at heart, and I don't know. I think Microsoft, as of late, Microsoft has been honestly killing it, and they've been doing incredible things, and you can definitely tell that there's just so much passion that those guys have there. Is that, and not only that, but like Phil Spencer has been a huge like driving force in the industry as a whole. So including not only, just Xbox too, but he's also like, hey, you know what? I'm a gamer. It's okay to play Nintendo and to play Xbox. It's okay to play PlayStation and play Xbox. Like, at the end of the day, we're all gamers. We're here just kind of for entertainment. Like, it doesn't really matter what you play at the end of the day. We're all still people. We are all trying to have the same fun experiences. Doesn't really matter. Of course, he would like you to use his own platform and stuff, but like him himself, he has a Switch. He plays on the Switch. He even has it in the background in some of his like videos and stuff. So I think, there's just quite a lot of energy that the folks at Microsoft have that kind of really bring them into, you can tell that these people are, passionate about the games probably just as much as they are about actually, like trying to make a business thrive and be successful. So I think that Phil Spencer has actually done a lot. Dude, this gameplay is distracting. I gotta stop. Phil Spencer is, I think he's going to do great things with this, right? So I like, circling back, I think that Bobby's kind of getting off a little too easy. He's getting a kind of giant payday at the end. Yeah, I don't know. Question in here, will they fire Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer, give it to a different studio? No. They're all still part of it together, right? They're all still going to be part of Activision. Treyarch is technically a first-party studio, just like 343 and the Coalition and Playground Studios. They are now officially first-party Microsoft studios, which is crazy. Like, we got Sony Santa Monica is like a first-party studio. Naughty Dog is a first-party studio for PlayStation. Treyarch is technically a first-party studio for Xbox now. So they're going to be, for at least for the time being, sticking around. I saw some people saying, do you think Activision or that Microsoft will actually consolidate? Maybe not necessarily consolidate, because that kind of gives off the wrong vibe. That kind of assumes that you're going to be like firing people and restructuring and stuff. But instead, do you think that they're going to be kind of merging studios? So instead, you'd have like Activision North, Activision South, Activision East, or whatever. I could possibly see that, rather than having you got Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Beanox, Raven, High Moon, Toys for Bob. What else you got? You got Demonware. You got Activision Shanghai. Freaking, I don't know. I could load up Cold War right now, and you could see the million studios that worked on that. But like, all these studios for Activision are working on Call of Duty games. So maybe instead you just go whoop, one big Call of Duty studio, instead of having all these different ones. Like, as bad as, I don't know, that could, I guess, potentially be, I think it would also, make sense. But as for the time being, no, they're all going to stay their own individual studios. But yeah, so I think, circling back to it, it is kind of unfortunate. I was kind of hoping to see some, I don't know, Bobby Kotick and a lot of these people actually like face repercussions, but instead he kind of just gets to sail off in the sunset with a giant payday. It's said that he's supposed to step down in 2023, step down from his position. I don't know. I had this discussion earlier today. I was thinking, all right, maybe he's not really stepping down. Maybe, he's not really leading the company still in this year. Maybe it's more of kind of a PR thing where, Microsoft is like, hey, we're buying out your company. You're done. Like you're not a good person. You're done. You're out of here. But we're not going to frame it that way. Instead, we're going to be like, oh no, you're going to stay on, and then you're going to step down in a year instead. As a way of being like, oh yeah, trying to sugarcoat it a little bit. I don't know. I could see it being like that. I don't know. Who's to say? Anyways, now let's finally get around to the topic of the video. Finally. Sorry guys, I like to ramble a lot. What does this mean for Call of Duty? Well, as of right now, nothing. Like, we know that Call of Duty games are going to be part of Game Pass. Game Pass day one. But as for the future of the franchise, for all we know, it could stay exactly the same. There could still be all of these microtransactions. We could still get yearly releases on all these games. Still have buggy, trash releases. All this stuff. Skill-based matching. Did I already say that? I don't know. Tons of stuff like that. Like, for all we know, we could still be continuing all this stuff on. Although, I think I have some optimism that won't actually be the case. I think that with Microsoft stepping in now, and with Phil Spencer kind of taking the reins, I think that Call of Duty is going to kind of step into a new era, or at least I hope. So I'm kind of going to hop into a little bit here of what I think and what I wish will happen from this. So here's what I want to happen with all of this now, because this kind of gives, it's crazy that this is happening, because this really gives a fresh start for Call of Duty, essentially. Because I've even had this discussion with some people over the last several years. At random points, I'll just think about it. I'll be like, what if Treyarch was not under Activision? What if Treyarch was just like an independent developer? How would things be different? Because when you see the developers, you talk to the developers, you see them on Twitter. These developers, they obviously have a lot of passion for the games they create, but then from the community side, those same games have so many glaring issues. Skill-based matchmaking, all these microtransactions, like reuse content, less content, like pricing, all sorts of issues. But the developers never want to acknowledge it. Have you guys noticed that these developers, like Treyarch, has never... Well, I guess there was one time when they did acknowledge skill-based matchmaking. And that was one of the developers said, oh yeah, Black Ops 2 has skill-based matchmaking. That was the only time anybody has ever acknowledged skill-based matchmaking. You can tweet at, the Call of Duty handle, any of the developers, nobody's going to say anything about skill-based matchmaking. It's one of those things where it's like, hush, hush. And so it's like, what? Why? Same thing with all the microtransactions and all this stuff. All the developers, you can tell that they have a lot of passion, but it seems like Activision has this giant hold over them where they're like, no, you have to, like Black Ops 4, you have to create this game, you have to have a battle royale in it, you have to, put all these microtransactions in here, you have to do this, you have to put skill-based matchmaking in the game. And the developers are like, dude, come on, why? We don't want this. The community doesn't want it, but Activision's like, do it, you gotta do it, we gotta make money. So, stuff like that, skill-based matchmaking, let's think about this. Will there be skill-based matchmaking? Will that be removed? I don't think so. I don't think skill-based matchmaking will be removed. Halo Infinite technically has skill-based matchmaking. It has an MMR system, which is technically the same thing. But it's at least acknowledged a little bit. The game acknowledges that it has it. Call of Duty does not acknowledge it in any way. The developers do not acknowledge that it even exists, really, in any way. At least Halo Infinite, it does acknowledge it, and it's like, yeah, okay, it is there. It's definitely not to the same extent as it is in Call of Duty, but I think skill-based matchmaking will remain. Now, next up, microtransactions. Dude, Lord knows microtransactions have been a huge part of Call of Duty ever since Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 really started that. Although, personally, I think Black Ops 2, even Ghosts, they had good microtransaction systems, was fine, didn't bother me. Advanced Warfare is really where it started to get bad, and that's because of the supply drops. We had supply drops. Oh my goodness, supply drops. Oh, that's the thing. Supply drops. Did you guys... Hold up. Let me circle back for a second. Did you guys notice in Black Ops 4 in Black... Let me start up the freaking game and show you guys, actually. What a better time. I'm going to launch Black Ops 4, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what is going on. Dang it, is it going to restart the freaking footage? Dang it probably is. Well, not if I do this. Haha. Yeah! Alright, let me actually just mute that real quick. So, Black Ops 4. Good old BO4, dude. I freaking love this game. I haven't played this in a minute. Beanox, Raven, 2 more studios. So, in Black Ops 4, did you guys notice that for the first year of its cycle, people had so many issues with the game? Like, tons of issues. Some of the issues were surrounding the black market system. But then, as soon it was this giant coincidence. What the freak? Ballbusters? That's actually hilarious. I'm gonna buy that. Black Ops. That's awesome. As soon, like literally the week leading up to Modern Warfare's release, all of a sudden, Treyarch released this new black market. See, the game wasn't always like this. They now have a new system. As soon as Modern Warfare came on the scene, they introduced a new system where stuff like this, you know, you can get this skin, this bundle or whatever, you can pay the 800 COD points, pay real life money for it, or you can get 30 cases to do it. This was not the case throughout the entire game's year life cycle. It was not like this. They only added this when Modern Warfare came out. It was like, wow. As soon as Modern Warfare comes out, it honestly, it felt like Activision was like had this giant hold over Treyarch on Black Ops 4, and as soon as Modern Warfare came on the scene, Activision let go of Treyarch and went over and grabbed Infinity Ward and held Infinity Ward with that same like iron grip. And so Treyarch was free to implement like a consumer-friendly black market system. It was honestly incredible, and it was like, that seems very, like, much, I don't know, not a coincidence that as soon as Modern Warfare came on the scene, all of a sudden we get this nice, cool, awesome new system. Especially, you come over here, you can literally pick a weapon that you want. You can pick one. You can purchase it for $2,400, sorry, or you can exchange 50 of them for it. You can literally get specific weapons. You don't have to just get them out of supply drops. Wow, that's what the community's been wanting for forever. It just was kind of unfortunate that this happened right when the new game came out. You know, all these positive changes only came right when the new game came out. But that's the kind of thing. I think that's the hold Activision has over these Call of Duty development studios, is stuff like that. Is the developers, obviously, they want to put in consumer-friendly devices in here. They want the community to have a good time with their games. But I think that Activision is, of course, the ones calling the shots on all this stuff. They're like, hey, you guys cannot put in a good system in here. We need to put in a system here that incentivizes, you know, microtransactions and sales, you know, generating revenue. A system like this where you can hop into the game and you can just earn stuff, that doesn't incentivize you to purchase it. Previously, you like had to purchase. It was either get phenomenally lucky just at random or spend real life money. But now it's like, no, you don't have to get phenomenally lucky. You can literally find the thing you want and buy it, and just by playing the game. You don't have to actually spend real life money. So that's how I feel. I think that all these developers, Treyarch, I think has kind of gotten screwed over like the worst in recent years, is that Activision has just been like throwing them under the bus with everything as of late, and I think that's where all these bad decisions for Call of Duty come from. No, I'm not trying to specifically badmouth anybody specific at Activision. You know, obviously there's reasons behind this. They're a company, they're trying to make money. But I was talking to a friend earlier today, and I was like, dude, everything wrong with Call of Duty in like the recent several years has all stemmed from Activision. If you guys think about it, right? I'm not trying to call out, like I said, anybody specifically at Activision. It's just the way I think it has worked out. All these problems have come from Activision in one way or another. So, what do I mean by that? Let's take Vanguard Zombies into account. Vanguard Zombies. Vanguard Zombies sucks. It is terrible, dude. It is a terrible zombies mode. Probably the worst zombies mode we've ever gotten. Is that Treyarch's fault? Yeah, partially. But I also think that it is more so a reflection from Activision's part. I think that Activision is to blame for that issue. I think Activision is to blame because they have not given Treyarch a break ever since Black Ops 3. Ever since Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 was the last game that they've worked on where they've had a good amount of, like, a healthy amount of time to develop the game. Black Ops 4 did not have that. Black Ops 4 went through development hell. It apparently got, like, scrapped about 10 months before release. Like, literally January of 2017 to January 2018, multiplayer got, like, completely redone. It was supposed to be an advanced movement game and literally got brought back to boots on the ground. So they had 10 months to create a brand new multiplayer. They also had, like, 9 or 10 months, or, like, maybe, like, close to a year to create an entire battle royale, to create Blackout. And then Zombies was also kind of iffy on that too. You know, they tried new things with Zombies. I think that Black Ops 4 Zombies was, you know, it was innovative. But, of course, we all know with Black Ops 4 Zombies, the Zombies budget got slashed, and so that's why we ended up with remakes for the final 2 maps instead of brand new maps. Is because their budget got slashed. That's also why we had those cheapo cutscenes, is because their budget got slashed. Because Activision saw, oh, but yeah, people aren't really that interested in zombies anymore. You guys don't have as much resources or money to actually create content for zombies. So Zombies and Black Ops 4 suffered because of that. So that's unfortunate. And then, of course, going into Cold War. Dude, Cold War, like, that game completely suffered so badly because of Activision. So many different things with that game. Of course, COVID was also a major contributing factor for that too. But, like, all these things in that, yeah, big issues. So I think that, you know, like I said, Treyarch has not really had kind of a let-up from Activision since, like, Black Ops 3. They've been constantly worked. And it kind of shows. And, of course, with Vanguard, you know, that Cold War was supposed to be their last game for, like, another 3 years, right? Actually, I mean, matter of fact, Cold War. Let me back up a little bit. Cold War was not supposed to come out last year. Last year was supposed to be Vanguard, essentially. It was supposed to be Sledgehammer's game. Sledgehammer had 3 years since World War II. They were supposed to have those 3 years for their new game. Now, you know, of course, we all heard all the stories, all the stuff going on behind the scenes with it. They just had massive problems. So Activision stepped in and goes, okay, Sledgehammer, you're done. Go over here, you know, figure out your whole thing. We'll give you another year. Treyarch, you guys need to step up and create a new game with a year less of development time. And then they cranked out Cold War. Cold War's not a bad game. I think they did the best that they could. I think that game had so much more potential. I don't think that's, you know, necessarily, like, a bad thing to say. I think it does have a lot more potential. It could have been a way better game. Not saying that it's not a good game, but I think it could have been way better considering, you know, what they could have had. You know, an entire another year of development. They could have had so much more put into the game. So that was an issue. And then, of course, you know, all the different merging and stuff we had from Cold War into Warzone, all that stuff is Activision, dude. You think Treyarch is like, dude, we want to cram Warzone down your throat. Treyarch doesn't care. Treyarch wants you to play their game. They want you to play Cold War. If you buy Cold War, they want you to play Cold War. If you buy Warzone, they want you to play Warzone. They don't want you to be crammed into and constantly being like, play Warzone, play Warzone, play Warzone, play Warzone, every time you freaking log in. That's an Activision thing. And then, of course, with Vanguard Zombies, right? Activision stepped in and goes, we need a new mode for zombies or whatever for Vanguard. We need a third mode in here. Like, we got campaign, we got multiplayer. What should we do? Well, we haven't really had a good third mode lately. You know, Treyarch has been doing zombies. You know, we've ripped off zombies with some of our other studios. Modern Warfare had a crappy survival third mode and Spec Ops that nobody ever played. What if we just have Treyarch do zombies again, but on Sledgehammer's game? Now, in theory, that could be a good thing, because then we just get a continuing zombie storyline with one studio doing it, rather than having Infinity Ward try their own zombies, and Sledgehammer trying their own zombies, and of course Treyarch doing zombies. But instead you have Treyarch just doing zombies, like one continuous storyline. Okay, it sounded good in theory, you know, like a year ago, You know, like leading up to the release of Vanguard, it was like, oh, you know, Treyarch's gonna be doing it. Okay, it should be pretty good. And then of course we got that release, and it's like, eh. But it's obvious playing Vanguard Zombies how much that is like how rushed it was. That was so freaking rushed. At that, it's kind of sad to see because it's obviously taking place on a multiplayer map. There's so many reused assets. Like the only thing new about it really was like Shino Numa, right? So I don't know. It's kind of a shame. There's just like so many reused assets and stuff that it's really obviously clear that they did not have the amount of time that they wanted to create a full zombies experience. They kind of slapped that together and was like, here you go, content. Here's Vanguard Zombies. Hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, you know, you can kind of tell that Treyarch themselves, they're not really happy with their own product currently. Like, you know, a lot of the developers and stuff, and even the way they talk about it themselves on Twitter and all over social media, you can tell that they're kind of like, yeah, you guys could play Vanguard Zombies if you want, or you could go back to Cold War Zombies, or I guess you could play Vanguard Zombies. Yeah. So, I don't know. That is one thing about this, though, that, you know, Treyarch has kind of gotten the raw end of the deal. Activision is the one causing these issues, right? That was the whole point of me going on this whole tangent. Activision is causing all these issues. Now, how is that going to change with Microsoft? Is Microsoft actually going to do any changes? Like I said, I think that there is quite the potential for them to do changes and to make the games better. And like I said, I think we're coming into a new era of Call of Duty, of better games, essentially, because of what Activision is going to become because of Microsoft. So what do I mean by that? There's a lot of people in the community, I saw tons of people saying today, now that Xbox has bought out Activision, they need to give Call of Duty a break. We need to stop having yearly releases. You know, of course, Activision before now would never let that happen. They would never let Call of Duty ever stop a yearly release. Heck, we had a pandemic that happened, did not cancel the game. We had studios just like crap the bed, could not get along, could not put together like a full functional game. They still released one anyways. So we have all these things together, which, you know, Activision was never going to let up. They were going to milk this franchise into the ground if they needed to, just to get more money. But I think that Xbox and Microsoft, I think that they're going to shake things up. Maybe not necessarily stopping the yearly releases, but I think that they would be more likely to do that than Activision would. Old Activision, I guess. Activision is different now under this new umbrella, right? So, Xbox, I mean, I think one of the best points to reference here would be Halo Infinite last year. You know, the community saw the reaction to Halo Infinite, the gameplay trailer. You know, we got Craig, it got memed so bad. And, you know, they finally, Microsoft and 343, they kind of came to a decision together. They're like, you know what? This game needs more time in development. We're going to delay it a year, which was huge. Delaying Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite was supposed to be the golden, like, launch title for Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. It was supposed to be the day one title. That was going to be showcasing the new power of these systems. That's the game you buy these new systems for. That's the game you play it on. And then they delayed a year? Yeesh, that was a bold move. Because without that game, what's the point of buying the new system? You know, oh yeah, I can play Cold War, you know, with like a little bit better textures. Okay, well, all right. Play Valhalla, a little bit better textures and like 4K. Okay. You know, you don't have like one game that's like, bam, this is why I want to buy a Series X. This is why I need to buy one. Instead, they delayed it a year, which was huge, and I'm sure that, you know, has potentially affected console sales and different things, but they're willing to do that. And to me, that shows that Microsoft and Xbox, they're willing to do things that are unpopular, that might cost them money, but they do it for the betterment of the community and essentially the product itself. I think that Halo Infinite is, of course, way better now than where, you know, of course, it would have been if it would have released last year. Of course, the graphics, that was a whole thing. They said, all right, we're delaying the game an entire year to try to polish up the graphics. And I think it definitely shows, even from just looking at those trailers and stuff. It looks way better because of that. So it is interesting. There's my point there. The Activision, I don't think they would ever have delayed a Call of Duty game, but now Microsoft, they delayed Halo Infinite. So potentially now, like we've never gotten a delay with a Call of Duty game. Do you think maybe now we'll finally get delays with Call of Duty games? They'll finally get the full amount of time they deserve? Instead now Treyarch can go to Microsoft and go, hey, our product is just not ready, man. We could rush it to market, but we need another 6 months. I think that Microsoft is way more now willing to go, yeah, sure, take it. Take those extra 6 months, whatever. Do it. Whereas Activision before would have been like, no way, we are not even discussing this. You guys are releasing it in November, no matter what. I don't care. Whatever it takes. But now I think Microsoft will go, you know what? Yeah, sure. We can spread them out. We can do whatever we need to get like a good product. So I think that games will actually get proper amounts of time that they deserve. Also, issues like I talked about internally within the company, Microsoft is handling. I saw somebody actually had an article out earlier today. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. It was a very interesting way to put it. That it was kind of interesting. Let me see where. Yeah, all right. Somebody posted this on Twitter. This is a better way of framing it. Oh, it's from Vice. Vice put out an article about all this today. Instead of saying like Microsoft bought Activision, instead their title was Microsoft is now accountable for Activision Blizzard's mess. That is a very interesting take on it. So yeah, when you think about it, now that they bought it out, now they are responsible. Their reputation is on the line. If all these issues that have happened at Blizzard continue to happen now it's Microsoft's reputation, Xbox's reputation on the line. They don't want that. They don't want their reputation to be soured. So I think that Microsoft and Xbox, they're going to do everything in their power possible to actually to stop all this and to get these issues actually resolved. I think that they're actually going to be willing to do that, and I think that they will. I think that Phil Spencer and all these guys are they're good, and I think it's definitely possible. Another thing, I was actually thinking about making a video about this not too long ago, but Warzone is completely broken right now. There's no word on them fixing it. Well, the reason why it's broken is because the QA testers are on strike. They've been on strike for, I want to say, 5 weeks now. And it's because a lot of them got laid off right before the holidays, just kind of out of the blue. They said they were going to be, getting promotions and stuff, raises and stuff, but instead Activision was like, you're done. So all the other workers went on strike in solidarity in support of those who ended up losing their jobs. Now, Activision has not commented on any of that stuff, so if you guys want more information on that, you guys can follow, there's a really good Twitter account called @ABetter, that stands for A Better Activision Blizzard King. So, their bio says, the employees of Activision Blizzard King working together for change. Basically, it's a Twitter account for the employees trying to get better workers' rights, potentially unionizing and such. And, I don't know, it's very interesting. So, let's see, what did they have to say? They posted something earlier today, and I thought it was very interesting. Let's see. Okay. Is this it? Nope. Let me see. Okay, here we go. They put out a series of tweets. They said, the news of Activision's acquisition by Microsoft is surprising, but it does not change the goals of the ABK Workers Alliance. We remain committed to fighting for workplace improvements and the rights of our employees, regardless of who is financially in control of the company. Fair. It doesn't matter if Activision themselves are in charge or if Microsoft is in charge, if the outcome is still the same, if employees are still being mistreated. They say, we will continue to work alongside our allies across the gaming industry to push for measurable change in an industry that desperately needs it. We called for the removal of Bobby Kotick as CEO in November for shielding abusers, and he still remains a CEO as of this writing. The strike for Raven QA is in its 5th week, and our striking staff has still not received response from leadership regarding our request to negotiate. And finally, 3 out of 4 of our original collective demands to improve the conditions of women in our workforce have not been met. Whatever the leadership structure of this company, we will continue to push to #end abuse in gaming and appreciate the outpouring of support we've experienced in the last year. So they put out a statement today basically saying hey, this doesn't change anything for us, until we actually see change, this doesn't really mean anything. Now, of course, talking about that previous article, Now Microsoft is responsible. They inherited this giant mess. It is their duty to fix it now. Whereas Activision was, up until, this merger, they were perfectly okay with trying to sweep this all under the rug and pretend like nothing was happening. Of course, with these workers who are on strike, management is basically going, they don't care. They act like it's not even happening. But of course, Microsoft cannot do that. Microsoft cannot ignore these issues now. Now they are their issues. So I think that they have to be fixed. Will they be fixed in the appropriate manner? That remains to be seen. I think that a majority of them will be fixed in an appropriate manner. I think there's still some kind of leeway there for Microsoft to kind of still mess a few things up. I don't know. I don't think they're going to get this perfect. I don't think, because of Microsoft buying this out, all of a sudden, oh wow, everything's going to be perfect. Everyone's going to get paid exactly what they should be. There's going to be no harassment, no abuse, everything ever again. I think stuff like that will still occur, but definitely not to the same extent as it was. So I think in turn, essentially, Microsoft will try to fix this whole issue with the Raven QA, get these people back their jobs and such. And because of that, that is why Warzone is broken right now. The people QA testing the game aren't testing the game because of this. It's not their fault. I'm personally on their side. I'm in support of them. But that's why Warzone is currently in the state it's in. It's kind of busted. Is because of that. So it's stuff like that. Games being broken and not working. That stems from other problems that Microsoft literally can and I think will fix. So stuff like that, like Warzone, will be fixed because of Microsoft right now. So stuff like that, I think developers are going to get more time. I think that there is going to be better communication and better treatment of all the employees, so the employee morale will be a lot happier. Potentially less buggy, games and such. I talked about this before, but Call of Duty is going to stay on PlayStation as well. It's not going to be an exclusive. I think maybe in several years there's a potential, but I don't think that. I personally don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think Call of Duty is ever going to be an Xbox exclusive, even though they've purchased it. I don't think it will. I mean, you take the looks of Minecraft. When Microsoft acquired Minecraft, everybody was freaking out going, oh, no. They're going to make Minecraft exclusive to Xbox. But they didn't. They still got Minecraft on Wii U, still got Minecraft on PlayStation, still got Minecraft on Switch. They even still have the original Minecraft, what do you call that? The Java version. They also have the Bedrock version, kind of the Microsoft version, but they still have the original one too. So it's they bought it, but they haven't done anything to mess it up. And I think that's going to be the same thing with Call of Duty. They purchased it, but I don't think they're going to be doing anything to mess it up by making it exclusive to Xbox or such. But I don't know. I think that all these studios should potentially work a lot better. Also, it's kind of interesting. Activision is kind of taking all their studios going, you are now working on Call of Duty now. We got 5 studios working on Warzone because Warzone is such a cash cow. We need all of our studios to work on that. I think that there's probably some disdain internally from a lot of the employees in these, studios being I don't want to work on Warzone. We did an amazing Tony Hawk remaster, and because of that, Activision's you did a good job. Now go work on Warzone. Go back to Call of Duty. Go work on Call of Duty. That's their reward, is going to work on Call of Duty. I think a lot of these studios potentially should branch out from Call of Duty. I think that Treyarch could do great things not working on a Call of Duty game. Maybe Treyarch wants to work on a Call of Duty game, but maybe Treyarch shouldn't do a full Call of Duty game. Maybe they should just do a Call of Duty Zombies game. We've been asking about this for over a decade now, being hey, will you guys finally make a standalone Zombies game? I think that's actually finally on the table now. I think the possibility of a standalone Zombies game is finally on the table now that Microsoft has bought this out. I think that Treyarch could now go to Activision, essentially, and now Microsoft. They could go to Microsoft and go, hey, we want to do a solo Zombies game. We don't want to make a campaign. We don't want to make a multiplayer. We want to just do an exclusive Zombies game. And I think Microsoft is probably going to be you know what? Do it. Before, Activision would be no. We've got this formula. We got this tried and true formula. You have to have a campaign, have to have a multiplayer, have to have zombies for every single game forever and ever and ever. You have to have those 3. But I think that Microsoft will be you know what? Sure. I think we're going to get more creativity because of that now. I think Activision was very against any kind of creativity in that regard, where there was, like I said, a strict formula they had to follow when it came to a Call of Duty game. But now I think this opens up for a lot more freedom, potentially other games. I mean, Treyarch, they made the original Spider-Man games on like GameCube and PS2. Those original Spider-Man, those were made by Treyarch. The 007 like Quantum of Solace game, that was made by Treyarch. Treyarch has made games besides Call of Duty. Not in like the past decade or more, they've been exclusively working on Call of Duty. But I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see some of these studios branch out a little bit. You know, it would be kind of cool to see some of them do some little side projects and stuff, and actually be encouraged to do that. And I think that's the kind of attitude Microsoft has. Is Microsoft is like, you know what? Let's do it. You know, let's kind of have fun. Let's experiment a little. Even you look at another first-party studio of Microsoft's, like 343 with Halo. They made a Halo Wars 2. Halo Wars 1 was alright. It didn't sell incredibly well, but it did alright. And so, you know, you might take that as, okay, well, it wasn't, you know, we didn't knock it out of the park. We didn't hit a home run with it. So it was a good effort, but, you know, whatever. We're just going to stick with first-person shooters and what we did. No, instead they made a Halo Wars 2. It sold better, but it still, you know, kind of came to the same outcome as Halo Wars 1, where, yeah, it sold better and people played it, but, like, it's still just definitely not as popular as our first-person shooters. But I think it's interesting that they at least took that choice, like, that chance again. You know, they made that initial one back, well, when did it come out, like 2008? Or, no, I think it came out in 2009. You know, they made that initial, like, leap of faith back then, and it didn't necessarily work out. But they were willing to do it again. A lot of studios, I think even Activision included, you know, they might have taken that leap of faith years ago, but I think that now they would absolutely not be willing to take a leap of faith like that now. So I think, you know, case in point, something like a standalone Zombies game. I think that now they're potentially willing to take that, like, little bit of risk and try that out. You know, something like a remastered game. You know, we had, like, COD 4 remastered. That was phenomenal. That was an incredible new thing for the franchise. And it's something we haven't seen since. Yeah, we got Modern Warfare 2 remastered, but no multiplayer because, hey, we don't want to have multiplayer because it's going to take people away from Modern Warfare. It's like, okay, who cares? I think Microsoft is probably more in that, you know, that kind of camp and that attitude of, like, whatever, make a Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, remastered multiplayer. Who cares if it takes players away from this other one? Who cares? Oh, well, you know, like, I don't know. I think that's something that Activision struggles with, and I think, you know, studios like 343 do well. You know, you had, in 2014, you had Master Chief Collection. 2015, you had Halo 5. You know, in 2015, they did not stop all work and just go, see a Master Chief Collection. Dude, Master Chief Collection still gets updates to this day. They still add new content to it to this day. Halo 5, I think they've kind of stopped updating a little bit. I'm sure some of it is due to popularity, but that's kind of opposite of Activision. Activision goes, all right, once your 1 year is up, you are done. We're not coming back to this game, like, almost ever. You know, they've only done it like very few. You could probably count it on one hand the amount of times they've actually gone back to a previous game and actually done something with it. They've done it in Black Ops 2 when Ghost was kind of iffy. They went and they actually added content to Black Ops 2. They added Zombies Chronicles in Black Ops 3, and that's about it. I guess maybe Cold War now would be another one. They're adding operators still to Cold War. And maybe Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare kind of got, you know, actually it did. It got new maps during Cold War's life cycle, actually, you know, now that I think about it. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy, though, that, you know, you compare that against, like, 343. 343 was actually willing to go back and to continue supporting an older game. Activision seems to be like, nope, it's an older game. Nope, don't do that. We need to focus all our attention on the new game because we need to make money on the new game. So I think that now there's a potential for them to still support older games for longer periods than just 1 year. I think, you know, it'd be a good thing. Or if, you know, if you strike gold with one game, with something in a game, I think Blackout was that gold. I think they struck gold with Blackout. But instead they go, all right, Blackout, your 1 year is up, you're done, you're out of here.
So instead of building on Blackout, they go, all right, we need to create a new Battle Royale now. And they created Warzone. I think they should have just built off Blackout, personally. I've had this opinion for years now where I'm like, dude, why did we create a new Battle Royale? They already had a formula. They already had a base. Instead, they went threw that in the trash and created a new one. Why don't you just add on to it? Keep building on it. You already have a formula. Keep building on it. I don't know. But I think it's, hey, like, we have to keep doing this. We have to just, like, keep pushing the new game. Keep doing, how dare we go back to an old thing and build off an old thing? How dare we go back and continue to support Black Ops 4? We got to continually push the new one. So I don't know. I think now we're going to be getting a lot more innovation with Call of Duty, a lot more risk, I suppose. But it's like now they have Microsoft backing them, so is there really risk? There's not really a financial risk. All their jobs are still secure. They're going to get paid at the end of the day regardless, whereas before Activision would be like, that game didn't sell well. Let's lay off 70% of our workforce. They did that during Black Ops 4's life cycle. They were freaking laid off a ton of people for Black Ops 4. They laid off people in December from Raven. So I think that stuff like that, there's going to be a little bit more room for creativity. I think, the possibility of, say, like a Black Ops 2 remastered is on the table now as well. I don't think that they need to create a new game every single year. I think we could have, kind of a gap year where we just add new content to Warzone and you just continue to support Warzone. Or you just add new maps to an older Zombies game, something like that. I don't think you need to create a whole new experience every single year. And, other franchises like Assassin's Creed, they actually did that, They were doing the yearly releases for a while, and then they were finally like, you know what? Let's take a break. And they came back strong, and they came back better than ever before. They came back with Assassin's Creed Origins. Holy smokes, because they took, 2016 off? They had 15 with Syndicate. 16 they took off. 17 they had Origins. Bam! 18 they had Odyssey. Holy crap, wow. 2019, was it 19? Did they have, I don't think they had anything in 19. Or did they? No, 19, no. 2020 they had Valhalla. 2021, they did not have any. So they're actually willing to take years off from their games, and I think that's very much respectable. And I think that, Microsoft is more willing to take that approach, and I think Call of Duty should take that approach too. So, I don't know. I'm kind of going on a rant here, getting a little tired. Hopefully I kind of got the point across for you guys. Also, it's kind of interesting. Check it out, guys. I freaking... Look at it. I got my Scarlet Launch Team 2020 shirt I'm wearing. This is literally a shirt for the people who have worked this side. The people who created the Xbox Series X, dude. It is a shirt specifically for them, the launch team. I didn't create it, but I was able to get this shirt from somebody who did. I was like, dude, it's such a cool shirt, so I wanted to represent for this video. But you put on my face. You put my face on. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, guys. It's definitely interesting to see what's going to be happening here. With PC side of things, with, Battle.net, I think that Battle.net will stay there. I don't think that they're going to, upend Battle.net and instead put Battle.net, combine it with the Windows Store, do dumb things like that. I don't think that they're going to make, Call of Duty exclusive to Xbox. They've done a good job so far with, Bethesda and stuff. They're still releasing Bethesda games on PlayStation, still releasing on PC. I think that now they're just kind of trying to include more things and be kind of pro-consumer. I think maybe it'll be interesting in a few years' time to see what happens. Maybe we finally get some kind of anti-consumer practices later on in a few years. Because in Digital Foundry's recent video, they actually talked about this. They said, companies are kind of like football teams where, people attach their identity to a company now. Where, instead of being like a football team, they're like, this is my football team's better than your football team, my team beat your team. So people kind of give that same identity to a company. They're like, oh, my company's better than yours and stuff. And they basically explained in there, it's not necessarily a good thing. You want competition in the space. So Microsoft buying up all these studios, yeah, it's good for Microsoft, but is it good for the consumers? it remains to be seen. I personally think, yeah, in a lot of respects, it is good for the consumers, but I think it's also good for the consumers when you have multiple choices. You know, you don't just have Xbox or PlayStation. You need Xbox, you need PlayStation, you need Nintendo, you need Steam, you need the Epic Games Store, you need EA, you need Activision, you need Ubisoft, you need all these different choices to keep everybody else in check. Instead, when you literally just go one and one, it's a lot harder to keep each other in check when you instead you have like all this different competition. So I don't know. It's it'll be interesting to see how things turn out in a few years, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comments down below. What do you guys think? I think that this is a great thing. They spent almost $70 billion. It's kind of interesting. I wasn't even thinking about this like a week, no, it was like a month ago or something like that. I was like, dude, it's kind of been a minute since Microsoft has bought up and acquired studios. Like, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what their next thing is, because, you know, they announced before the Series X came out back in 2020, they're like, we are buying Bethesda. What? Holy crap. That was huge. And so it's like, all right, well, what are they buying next? Like, I've even had discussions with my friends about this. Like, yo, like, if anything, Microsoft should buy Activision. And I think that, you know, this was the perfect time for Microsoft to buy Activision, is because their stock price has gone down, their value of their company's gone down. As Digital Foundry put it, you know, they kind of, Microsoft smelled the blood in the water, where they're like, hey, this is the perfect time to strike. Our management is kind of all in disarray. You know, the company's value has gone down. This is the perfect time to hop in and to redo things and to, you know, to do it. Whereas I think if you would have had even a year ago, I think it was probably less of a possibility for Microsoft to acquire Activision. I think that it was pretty much like this was the perfect time for them to do that, which I think is also good, because now it gives Microsoft a chance to do things right by the community and from the employees too. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's a lot of my basic thoughts on this. I think that, you know, over time, you know, I'm sure like as soon as I end this, there's gonna be a lot of thoughts and stuff come to mind about this, and you know, stuff I will want to share. So maybe I'll post more stuff in the comments. I'll have just like a giant comment chain, or probably what better to happen is just in more live streams. I'll discuss more of my thoughts and stuff, or in more videos, not necessarily videos, but live streams. So maybe tomorrow I might hop into Halo Infinite's Cyber Showdown event and play some of that live. And, you know, if I have more thoughts about any of this stuff, I'll hop in and talk about it there. But that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, that's I think there's a lot of good that could come out of this. I think better Call of Duty games, potentially not a Call of Duty game every year, more room for innovation, stuff like remastered games, stuff like a standalone Call of Duty Zombies game. I think better employee health and a better employee morale are a lot of these good things that will happen here. And I kind of also hope in a little bit more openness with the developers too. I think Activision, like I've said, they kind of have this like iron grip over their developers, whereas I wish the developers were a little bit more open and could share things way more with the community. Because I mean, that's something that you know, Halo has and 343 have done, is they've actually been pretty vocal with their community as of late, and I like seeing that. It's always awesome seeing developers be that open. I just think that maybe Activision does not allow their developers to be that open with the community. I think that Activision is kind of like, nope, you guys just got to stay tight-lipped on everything. You know, you can't share this kind of stuff. But I think that's about to change. So I don't know. This is all kind of preliminary thoughts. Of course, all this stuff won't actually take place for several more months before it becomes fully official. But yeah, should be kind of good, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Sorry about all the ranting. I was just, it's a big deal, guys. Today was a freaking huge day. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. And I'll be back here tomorrow. More content on the channel, more videos, maybe some more streams. Bye.
Appalling.